Everybody say thank you, Mrs. V. Good playing and great singing, y'all. That was great. I think Mr. Thompson just gave me the thumbs up, so we're good to go, huh? All right. Welcome to Student of the Month in Read and Grow Chapel. We are missing the fourth graders today because they are on their field trip to the bird park, which is really cool. How many of you have ever been to the bird park? That is super cool. I was surprised. I think I went last year, and I was really, really surprised at how much is there. Got to feed the birds, right? Have you done that? And they put the little sticks there. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Very, very cool. And I think second grade goes on their field trip on Friday. So I know they're excited. All right, we have the Student of the Month and the Read and Grow. Read and Grow, we will start with today. Thank you to Mrs. Hughes for jumping in and helping me up here. All right, for March, Student of the Month. For Mrs. Hughes' class K5, Sadie McHenry. I panicked. I thought I gave away the Student of the Month there. Not yet. Okay. All right. Mrs. Tant Read and Grow, Landon Woolard. Good job. Mrs. Mills said it was Grant Issett. For Mrs. Owens' class, James Cunningham. Mrs. Eford's first grade, and we thank Mrs. Addo for stepping in back to back, right? Mrs. Addo's here. I know the second grade, they feel like it's like we're torn, do we? So we're glad to have Mrs. Griffey back today. We can give her a round of applause too. Glad to have her here. This is kind of like a little commercial break, but if you see Mr. Carter, it's Mr. Carter's birthday. Is anybody else's birthday in here? Is anybody's birthday? Miss Mills' birthday in here. We've got a couple other birthdays. Happy birthday to everybody today. And Abby's birthday. Abby, happy birthday. We're glad you're here. And birthday over here. Awesome. Very good. Okay, so here we go. Mrs. Eford, although we're missing her, she said, well, I guess it was the reader, Charlie Bowling. Good job, Charlie. Mrs. Taylor's first grade class, Noah Oriano. Mrs. Gillen's first grade for the Read and Grow, Paisley Zadunik. And now for second grade, Mrs. Zervis's was Everly Pridgeon. Mrs. Klein's class, the winner was Graham Sally. Mrs. Griffey's class was Violet Thompson. Mrs. Addo, third grade, was Zoe Raper. And Mrs. Eford's third grade was Noah Minshew. Fourth grade we'll save for next week. Ooh, who won fourth grade? We'll find out. So let's see here. Well, good job, everybody. Well done. All right, show Mr. Thompson your certificates and all that. All right. And, of course, we've got to have the wave to the camera, so everybody wave to the camera. All right. Give them one more round of applause. Good job, everybody. Go. Y'all can have a seat. Go ahead. Go ahead and go back to your seat. Good job. All right, student of the month. Here we go. This character quality is responsibility and reliability. What a good one. Responsibility and reliability. Mrs. Hughes' K5 was Sadie McHenry. What? She won them both. Come on, Sadie. One of our classmates said, what? I think they were excited for it too, though. K5, Mrs. Mills, said it was Solomon Pruitt. Good job. Mrs. Owens' K5 was Brady Tyson. Mrs. Tant K5 was Joel Tilley. Mrs. Eford's first grade, Devin Lucas. Mrs. Gillen's first grade, he's not here today, but we'll announce this again next week. But Mr. Mason Harrell. Give him a round of applause. I think Mason, did I hear he broke his foot? So congratulations, Mason. Hope you get feeling better quick. All right, first grade, Mrs. Taylor, Jackson McHenry. Mrs. Klein's second grade was Grace Bass. Mrs. Griffey's second grade was Zane Ruotolo. Second grade, Mrs. Zervis said Eason Ugarte. Third grade, Mrs. Addo was Graylin Dawson. And third grade, Mrs. Eford was Chloe Houghton. We will do fourth grade next week. Thank you again, Mrs. Hughes. All right. Wave to your parents, grandparents, everybody that's watching. Congratulations. Give them one more round of applause as they sit down. Good job.